a little girl by the name of Judeah Reynolds. The 9-year-old girl was also the youngest witness to testify against Derek Chauvin, one of the officers convicted in Floyd's murder. Judeah decided to share her story through a children's book called A Walk to the Store. Here's a copy of that story. Co-author of the book is best-selling author Sheletta Brundidge. Sheletta joins us live this morning from George Floyd Square in Minneapolis. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We so much appreciate your time. I first want to start with asking you what it's like there in George Floyd Square this morning.
People are already starting to come in. We've got reporters here broadcasting live from all over the world. It's the 3rd anniversary. I'm connected and plugged into this community. And so our hearts are heavy, but we also celebrate his legacy. You know, his death was a moment, but it created a movement here in Minneapolis. And what we say here is we're the birthplace of the new and modern civil rights movement, where we are fighting for justice for people who look just like George Floyd.
Sheletta, I want to talk now about the book, A Walk to the Store. I want to ask you, how did this collaboration come about? But first, the title, A Walk to the Store, is very simple. It should be very simple, but yet, as we know, it is so very complicated.
You know, and Judeah Reynolds, the little girl, she was 9 years old at the time. I'm a children's book author, as you mentioned, and I intentionally put my children on the cover of my books. I have 3 kids with autism, so all of my books prior to this one was about autism awareness and acceptance. And so Judeah got a free copy of my book because I give away more books than I sell. Right. And her mother called me and said, you are the only children's book author that we know who is African American. You have your daughter on the cover of your book. Oh, your wow. Daughter looks like my daughter. I want you to help my daughter tell her story. And what an amazing weight that was. But that weight was lifted when I met this amazing family. They shared this young lady's story. And I mean, think about it, how devastated we were to watch the video, but imagine seeing it in real time and smelling it and witnessing that in real time as a child. She wasn't even 10 years old yet. And to be able to walk with her and tell that story for children to help them cope with trauma, it was an honor that God selected me for this assignment.
Does she continue to talk about it? Does Judeah talk about it today?
She's going to be talking about it for the rest of her life, just like all of us. And, you know, the strength and resilience of this young lady and her family, it was a walk to the store. We didn't call it at the store or I went to the store. It was there's movement. And so Judeah Reynolds walked to the store, but she walked away from the store, and she's walking through her life with this memory and the legacy of this man. She will never be able to be separated. She walked to the trial. She sat there. She testified. She walked away from that. And throughout her life, she continues to walk in the shadow of this man's legacy. She's an ambassador of what happened that day.
Taking her story, the perspective, the lens of a child, to witness something so tragic, to witness truly a catalyst, what has led to the movement we see today. How was it for you as a best-selling author, a children's book author, navigating that journey with a 9-year-old who had just witnessed this?
Well, you know what? I'm a mama. I have a mother's love. Before now, all of my books were by my own children, right? So I knew their story, but I had to go back and use dolls and play therapy and, you know, get Judeah in a room with my own children. She even lived with us for a little while, and we went to school down the street from my house here in Minnesota, and we became like family. And so then I found out that she had gotten a couple of dollars from a relative and wanted to go to the store. And Darnella Frazier, her cousin, was the only one who would take her. You know how annoying 9-year-olds with $2 can be. And so she was the only one who would take her to the store to buy some candy. And they came out with the sweet treats, and she was so excited and so happy. And then she walked into this. and she witnessed this and she was there for it. And to be able to get her to share that with me in a way that other children can understand. This is not a book for adults. This whole situation is heavy. I mean, we still talk about today how careful we have to be to talk about this man's legacy and what happened that day. We also do this for children. So imagine, you know, what we had to go through with the publisher, the printing, and can we talk a minute about the illustrations? Because Darcy Bell Meyer here in Stillwater,
gorgeous.
Minnesota, did an amazing job of capturing that day for kids with her illustrations.
Yeah, absolutely stunning, beautiful to be able to capture what she did and put this on the cover of this book. Sheletta, I want to say I hear that we were like ships in the night. I spent some time in Minnesota, Minneapolis. I was at the NBC affiliate there as an anchor reporter. And we should mention that you are a Fifth Ward native. How long have you been in Minnesota for?
Yes. I've been in Minnesota for 6 years now. Okay. I was here, but this is my second tour of duty. I was here from 2004 to 2010, and I'm from Fifth Ward. I went to Bruce Elementary School, grew right up there in the Kelly Court Project. And so, you know, my ships passed in the night with yours and with Mr. Floyd's. He and I both came to Minnesota to have a better life. And so he went to Eats, I went to Madison. And so, you know, I never met him personally, but, you know, our stories are so similar. And so that's why I'm so connected to making sure that Minneapolis honors and remembers him. We've got a candlelight vigil here tonight to memorialize and honor and remember him. And then Minneapolis City Council has a resolution that they're signing today that honors the victims of police brutality. And then this weekend is the big festival. There's a healing center, a kids zone. People will be out here. The Sounds of Blackness will be performing. And so we will come together as a community to celebrate this man. You know, we have a hashtag One Minnesota, and all of Minnesota is here to lift up the name of George Floyd this week.
Sheletta Brundidge, we so much appreciate your time coming on this show this morning to have this conversation. For people wanting to get in touch with you, for people wanting to purchase a copy of the book, how can they go about doing so?
ShelettaMakesMeLaugh.com. That is my podcasting platform and production company where people can find out about my books. You know, they can reach me. I'm a featured speaker. I've got a podcast network, and it's all right there. It's a one-stop shop.
Sheletta Brundidge, thank you so much. We appreciate it very much. Thank you.